Hey, I'm Bubba.
And I'm John.
We use our questionable and sometimes traumatic childhood experiences to hopefully become better parents.
We might not succeed,
But listen,
they're fine. So yeah, I wanted to tell you this thing happened at the kids' school.
oh God.
I know, right? That never is like a good intro.
It's like whenever Henry goes, Dad, I really need to tell you something. And I'm like,
oh shit.
molested by a teacher. And he's like, did you know that trains are long but very fast? And I'll be like,
Oh, thank God. Okay, so it's actually, this is a two-parter. There's two things that happened at the school.
okay.
Thing one, they do like a, this is funny because you would hate this. They do like a camp out at the school every year where like you camp at the school for one night. And
Is
they
it
have,
fenced in?
yeah, it's all fenced in. It's like they have a huge lawn, right? A huge
Okay.
field. So, but they have, you show up and it's almost like a little carnival kind of thing. They'll have like little booths and they have, like bouncy houses and they do a big movie, like outside project a movie. And then everybody brings tents and they camp out overnight. We did it one year and it fucking rained on us. Like,
I remember you saying that.
and we were like, you got it. It was so hot. And then it rained. And we were
Yuck.
like, we didn't do like the flappy thing over the tent. So yeah, they do like a camp out at the school, right? We did it the one time. We're like, never again. We're never doing this camp out thing. You and I have talked about camping separately, but we're like, we're not doing this camp out thing. We live like 2 miles from the school. Like, we'll just go home. Like, what are we doing? Right?
You got to bring all your toiletries to get ready for bed.
For one night, like get out of Dodge.
Yuck. I'm doing all my collagen cream mask in the boys' bathroom. Yuck.
Yeah, well, you are a Laguna housewife, so
I do like that. I'm going to start saying that. I am a kept woman.
yeah. They did it again this year, and we were out of town for like the one night, so we weren't going to do it anyway. We're like, whatever. But then we heard about it. There was like a big hubbub. Like, we got some email, and Catherine saw something on like some like Instagram group.
Oh God.
And I guess, like, long story short, some kid, some fifth grader, brought a pocket knife, right? And I guess he threw it. I don't know why. I don't know the whole story, but I guess he brought a pocket knife and he threw it. And all these parents got all up in arms about it. They're like, this kid needs to be expelled. Like,
What do you mean he
rid of this?
threw it?
Exactly. What does that mean, right? Nobody even knows. Everybody's just
It's
speculating.
camping. You need a pocket knife. I would have brought a gun. What if there's a bear?
I mean, I have so many thoughts on this, but I was like, do you know how many times kids brought pocket knives to school when I went to school?
Yeah.
Like, all the time. And like, you knew you weren't supposed to. I don't think I ever did, honestly, but I'm sure kids did it all the time. And like, yeah, if you got caught, they'd be like, you can't do this. And maybe they'd tell your parents and it was a thing. But all these parents at the school are like, this kid needs to be expelled. This is a huge deal. Like, blah, 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 blah. They're like, we're going to do an attendance protest. Nobody send your kids to school on Wednesday. Catherine and I are like, are you kidding me?
Let's all get together and ruin this fifth grader's life.
Yeah. And they sent out an email. The principal, who's great, he sent out this email. He's just like, listen, we are following all the rules. All the parties involved know we have a whole like rule handbook for when things like this happen. And like, everyone rest assured, we're taking care of this. But all these parents like did like it was like last week, they did an attendance protest. There was one day we went to school and like half the kids were missing. We're like, this is so
Because it like
dumb.
hits the school financially.
Yeah,
right,
when kids are absent, they make like less
What a
money.
bunch of fucking babies.
I know. I was like, give me a break. Like,
Dude, these parents need to grow up. Send me this Instagram post. I'll fucking troll these losers.
so I was just like, listen, do you trust this school or not? Like, this is a great school.
It'd be different if the kid like stabbed somebody.
Of course. That's a different thing.
Or he put it up to his eye and he was like, you want a piece of this?
Yeah,
And
he did like a
fake
machete
cut.
thing or something.
Machete.
Yeah.
Or he had like the machete belt with all the knives on the chest thing.
Totally.
That'd be cool, but not appropriate.
No, but it's like, also it's a fifth grader. Like, what, you want to expel them? Like, just like straight to jail, get rid of this kid? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, he made a mistake. He shouldn't have brought a pocket knife to this thing. He was probably like, we're camping.
Right.
I'm like, give me a break. So anyway, that's thing one, right? That happened at the school.
Okay.
And I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
I think before you get to thing 2, I just have a theory.
Go for it.
That things are so heightened politically that it's infiltrating everybody's normal life. That if there's any little infraction, even at a stoplight, all people's belief system is coming out of this. Of like, you can't just XYZ.
Sure.
Whatever side they're on. You can't let a kid have a knife and not put him in prison, or the other side of that. But it's stemming from this like complete disassociation, schizophrenia that we're having as a society right now.
Everything feels so polarized and so heightened, where it's like anything, any incident, anything that happens, I feel like everybody thinks they have to make a huge stand and a big stink about it and express how they feel about it in a very strongly opinionated way.
Yeah.
I'm just like, can everybody fucking calm down? It's a 5th grader that brought a pocket knife to a camp out at school.
I think it's like
Move on with your
residual.
life.
It's residual from like the social uprising and the COVID, where like the internet, made everybody take a stand. Where people were like, if you don't do whatever, then you're not my friend anymore. And if I see you with a mask or without one, you better say something about Gaza and do a land acknowledgement. Or like, if you're anything.
Yeah.
Even the most mundane fucking shit.
Gotta
People
take
are
a
like,
stand.
I gotta take a stand on this, because if not, then what's next?
Yeah. I am totally of the opinion where I'm like, I don't have a stand on this thing. I don't know. I don't have enough information on it.
I love that.
I'm not sure.
And even if I have all the information, I'll go, I don't have enough information on it.
Because you just don't want to get involved.
I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's also understandable.
I'll have to look into that kind of person.
Sure. Fair enough.
Interesting. I'll look into that.
I'll look into it.
Yeah.
You're not going to look into it.
What were we talking about? Oh,
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Hitler. Never heard of him.
So that was thing 1. Thing 2, which is related but a very different thing, is this was like 2 days ago now. Catherine called me and she says, hey, I just got off the phone with the school. The principal called me.
It was your kid with a knife.
It was not.
They're giving out free knives.
She says,
He goes, the only solution is everybody gets a knife.
it's knife day at school.
One day out of the year, it's knife day. It's like a low stakes purge.
Yeah. BYOK.
Blade's got to be under 4 inches.
She says, first thing, everyone's okay. And I'm like, oh God.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, what happened? She tells me during recess, our son was on the playground and a ball got kicked towards some kid on the playground. And what our kid didn't do it, but this kid thought somebody tried to kick the ball at him on purpose, and he turned and just started hitting our son.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like he just turned, he hit him once, like in the head.
In the head.
Mm-hmm. And then he hit him in the arm a couple times. And like, I didn't get all the details. Catherine's just like, he's okay. Everyone's okay.
This
But,
is
like,
why he should have had a knife.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said it's really, no. So I was like, oh my God. So I'm like, well, what's going to happen? And she said, well, apparently this kid that did this has like, he's on the spectrum or something. And he's supposed to have an
Sure.
He's supposed to have an aide with him.
Sure. I'm crazy.
So I'm like,
Who me? I'm nuts.
I'm just like, I'm kind of amped up about this. I'm like,
Sure,
okay.
dude. This kid sounds like a kid got the shit kicked out of him.
So I'm like, okay, I'm calling the school right now.
I thought you were
Like,
going to call 911.
I want to like talk.
I'm calling
to,
Morgan and Morgan.
I'm calling a personal injury attorney.
Yeah.
No, I was
By
like,
the way, if you are a personal injury attorney, we are interested in sponsorship. Keep going.
absolutely yes. Just like the rock climbing gym, we are
will
interested.
do an episode in the courtroom right before the settlement announcement is made. Keep going.
So I called the school and I talked to like the administrator and I said, hey, my son was in some altercation. I want to know if I could talk to the principal or whatever. And she said,
Well, you
yeah.
called the nurse first.
I just called like the main office.
You said, hey, bitch, do you know who I am? I have a show.
And so she said, okay, hold on one second. And then she put me on with the principal. And so I was like, hey, I just
What kind of school are you running here?
I heard about this pocket
Last
knife
week
thing.
we got the knife, and now this. Is this UFC or TK? Because you're about to be TKO'd.
You gonna let me get this story
Nope.
out?
I'm going to keep interrupting.
Get like 2 words in.
Okay.
So I talked to the principal and I just said, hey, my wife called me. She told me kind of what happened. I wanted to hear it from you. And he goes, yeah. And I said,
I want to hear it from you before you get a subpoena.
yeah. I was like, I want to hear it from your mouth, not from her. No. So I said, tell me like what happened. And so he tells me, he goes, yeah, everyone's okay. I checked on him. Like there's no bruises or anything. Like he says he's fine.
No bruises you can see.
He said he didn't want an ice pack. He said he didn't want to go to the nurse's office. He said he didn't want to go home. So I'm like, okay, so he's fine. I know our son. It's our 6-year-old. Like I'm like, if he was hurt, he'd be like, I need to go home.
Also, I've seen your kid bite people.
How dare you?
Oh, well, I'm just saying he's pretty tough.
Yeah. Oh, well, no.
He's bitten, and I've been like, I don't think he's letting go.
Yeah. I mean, I
Like
told
an
the
alligator.
principal, I'm like, honestly, I was like, listen, we got 2 boys. They are constantly going at it. I'm sure he's physically fine. Like, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm guessing he's physically fine. It's more of like, you get
Trauma.
you get into like a fight at school or something. It's only 6 years old. Like that can be like a bit of like an emotional disturbance, you know?
I mean, if you're a pussy, I grew up fighting all the time.
6, 7, 8.
He got the crap beat out of me every day.
Sure.
Fighting kids fighting me. You fight a kid, beat him up. His brother comes, beats you up 10 minutes later.
You got to run and do
Then
some
you
train
get your
jumping.
cousin. You jump on the caboose.
Yeah.
You head down there. Then the hobos start molesting you.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on.
But you just need a bite of the beans. Yeah. Anyways.
back to this. So I said, I'm sure he's fine, but like, what are like the repercussions here? Like this kid, like, is he on the spectrum? He's like, no, he's actually not on the spectrum.
Wait,
I'm like,
so you got misinformation from your wife?
I did.
Dude, this is why women can't be trusted. Keep going.
Okay. I strongly disagree with that statement. Okay. No, but I just said, hey, so he said, no, he's actually not on the spectrum, but like he dealing with a lot of issues. He's supposed to have a full-time aide. He did have a full-time aide, but they weren't watching, blah, blah, blah. It's never going to happen again. I'm just like, we kind of talked about it.
You go to school the next day, they got him like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, right.
He's like fucking on the gurney.
But I mean, I did kind of explain the reason I'm telling these stories in conjunction with each other is because my initial reaction as like a father and like my son just would like did absolutely nothing wrong and this kid like went nuts, right?
Allegedly.
I think everybody admits it. My reaction is of course like fucking do something with it. There should be some repercussions for this kid, right? Like this is
I
crazy.
thought you were going to say teach your kid to fight back.
Oh, like enroll him in like jujitsu?
Yeah.
Well, separate thing.
Or just drive him around and say, go punch that kid, and you let him out and have him run back in the car.
Trying to make a serious point here, Brandon.
Oh.
Okay. Where it's like my reaction is like something should happen to this other kid, right? Like there should be some sort of repercussions for this. But then I was talking to the principal and I even told him, I said, hey, like I know it seems unrelated, but I heard about this whole like pocket knife thing at the camp. And I'm going to approach this the same way that I approach that, which is
and you say, I'm gonna form an attendance boycott.
No, that's what I'm not going to do.
Oh.
Where I'm going to say, I either trust you guys or I don't. And I trust you guys are going to do the right thing and address this. And honestly, it's not my business what the repercussions are for this kid. Like, I'm not the prosecution here. Like, you're the school, you have the rules. I either trust you or I don't. And I trust you guys. So I trust you guys are going to do the right thing and address the situation with this kid and make sure this doesn't happen again, right? And that's the best I can do here. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to say this kid should be expelled, this kid should be suspended. I'm like, you guys know his history. This is up to you. I hope you address it accordingly, like to keep our children safe. And like, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to like push real hard for like some outcome, right? Because it's
and
not my
then the
business.
next day, your son got curb stomped by this kid.
No, the next day, our son came and told me, he said, the principal was with the kid during recess today, like the whole recess. He's like, so yeah. So
Had
I
a
was
little
like,
leash on him.
no leashes.
I bet you the kid's full-time whatever quit.
Maybe.
He was like, this kid's ungovernable.
I mean,
No, the principal's doing it because he doesn't want to get sued.
I think it's
He's like,
probably,
yeah, that guy's wife's a lawyer.
That is true. But
At
no, I
Morgan
think it's
and
probably
Martin.
like they're probably short-staffed on aides or something, right? And until they get like the right aid for this kid, the principal's like, well, then I'll be with them. So I'm like, I either trust them or I don't. And so I have to trust them to like do the right thing and take care of this and make sure the kids are safe. And if like there's a recurring instance, then it's like, then maybe my trust starts to wane. But
Yeah.
I wish people would. My point here is like, it is a somewhat serious point. I know we're joking around a lot about it, but it's like, we either trust our kid or these schools with our children or we don't. But to like second guess them all the time is kind of bullshit.
Even when your kid gets assaulted.
I mean, my kid's fine, right? He did get into a fight. How many fights did you get into school, right?
Well, I was homeschooled, John, and I got into a lot of them. My mom hit me all the
Your
time.
mom, your dad, your sister.
I mean, I was homeschooled, but I got in probably more fights in my neighborhood than most schools in the period of an entire year.
Okay.
Because it was just hillbilly Rust Belt fighting neighborhood.
Sure. And you were the weird, like, cult family. And they're
Yeah,
like,
but everybody else was like children of drunks
sure.
and drug addicts.
But they had like worked out their gangs at school.
Yeah.
And then you were just this like,
Christian kid.
yeah.
The kid in the religious cult who was homeschooled.
wearing
so.
funny clothes. Yeah. I
But
mean,
my dad,
Yeah.
I remember one time I got beat up in the neighborhood. This is how hillbilly it was. This kid beat my ass, and my dad saw it, and he goes, "You know, you're related to that kid." I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, he's your cousin."
Oh my God.
Didn't know it. But then he goes, I was like, "Can you go over there? Go over to their house and talk to his mom." I was probably your son's age, and my dad goes, "No, you gotta stand up for yourself and fight him." So I did.
Okay.
And I fought him and I won, and he left me alone. And he died.
From the fight?
Unrelated.
Oh, okay. Not from the
Unrelated.
fight. You didn't beat him to death?
I did. I hit him with
Really-
a bag of bricks.
Really buried the lead on that story.
Yeah.
You beat another child to death.
I was in juvie. No, but that was how my parents did it. They were like, go fight them until you win, which you can't really do now because rules.
Yeah, I mean, I did talk to my son, like obviously as soon as he got home from school, and he was essentially unfazed by the situation. I was like,
I think most kids are.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Whenever I've gotten calls from the school, they have to do an injury report. So anytime Maggie's falling off the monkey bars, they got to call me and be like, you get the voicemail if you missed it, and they're like, "Hey, she hit her head," and you're like, "Oh Christ, she's in a wheelchair for the rest of her life." They're like, "But she's fine. We did some ice," and then you talk to them when they get home and they don't even remember it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought maybe, because that's happened plenty of times with us too, for sure.
Yeah.
I thought maybe this time it might be a little more serious because it was like a fight kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I asked him when he got home, I was like, how was it? He was like, it was fine. Like, he was like, it hurt. I was like, where did he hit you? He showed me, and there was like, there's no bruise or anything. And I'm like, listen, like, you've been hit by your brother before. You've hit your brother before.
Like, you
Like,
wanna see
was
a
it any
bruise?
worse than that? He's like, no. So I'm just like, okay, like, so stay away from that kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, if something like that, like, what'd you do? He's like, well, he hit, I like ran, told a teacher. And I was like, yeah, that's the right move. That's what you do, right? Like, I'm not going to be
You
like,
run away your whole life. That's what I would have said. You want to be a runawayer?
yeah,
Here's the thing, though. You trust that institution and those people. I do trust the school my kids go to. But like this past summer, she was in a program, and it was kind of, they were folding a summer program into another one and consolidating and closing it. So they didn't have real teachers like they usually do. They kind of had helpers. And these people, kind of the vibes were like Walmart greeter level intelligence.
Yeah.
And there were several instances of like a girl who was bullying not just Maggie, but other kids. And some situations escalated with other kids and with Maggie. And it's all fine now. But we did reach a point where like we were dealing with them and like trying to communicate and then talking to the other parents. And I was kind of like, I think I might just have to pull her out of this program because these people are kind of bozos.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to be paying attention to anything. Even when you'd walk in, you're like, how you doing? They're like, huh? And you're like, so you're in charge? And they're like, well. So that was like a place where I wouldn't blanket be like, I trust all public institutions with my kids. It's like, can get a
I
little
definitely
dicey.
do not.
You know?
No, I definitely
But if you
don't.
respect the school and the people there, I love the kids' school now where they're at, and the ones Henry was at before, and Henry was doing crazy stuff. But I think when kids are little like that, like, it's not like you're in high school and it's like, hey, you can't bring a gun to school or carve a swastika on the desk. These kids are still little. Like, there's kids in Henry's class who are like pulling their penises out or like grabbing somebody's butt or like sticking a pencil in their ear or just doing all kinds of shenanigans that it's like when they're that little, they're kind of like, they're not learning anything other than like, here's how you share.
Sure.
Here's how you wash your hands.
And
here's how
Henry
you
is
clean up.
14.
14. Yeah.
No, Henry's 4, right?
Henry's 4, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I really do think like
Maggie's like learning to read and write and these things.
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean, we both have 6-year-olds, so they're the same stage. But I do feel like even at 6, I'm like, is this the point in time where I am like, I have to talk to him about like, listen, you got to stand up for yourself. And like, I'm like, no, I don't think it is. Like, I think that does happen, and you have to decide how you're going to talk to your kid about these things. But I'm like, it's not yet. I feel like maybe 8, 9. I feel like then, because then you start dealing with bullying in a more real sense. I think.
Like right now, Henry has a kid, and he's like, this kid keeps bullying me, and I go, what's he do? And he goes, he said, hey, poo-poo head. And I go, and what'd you say? He goes, I don't like that. And I told the teacher. And then the next day I was like, how'd it go with that kid? He goes, he's my best friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he doesn't have a recollection of it. But I do think even this stuff, as much as I love my dad, like, I don't know if that was the right thing to be like, stand up for yourself equals go fight them back or whatever.
Yeah.
I think having the younger kids, because I've never had young kids, talking them through these things of like patience and kindness, and even like informing adults or informing your parents of like the idea of like, you go to an authority figure if somebody isn't following the rules or hurting you or making you uncomfortable. Yeah. Those are like fair things for adults. Yeah. This person's sexually harassing you. Or like saying inappropriate stuff in the workplace, like I do all the time, and you have to go to HR. You know,
you don't like, beat that person up.
Yeah,
right?
But you start with them and you say like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, you set your physical boundaries and you know, maybe use a louder voice or be more clear. Tell them how that makes you feel. And if they keep doing that, then you tell somebody else and it escalates. And that's like what it is. Now it's standing up for yourself is different if you're in a situation where you're walking down the street and somebody attacks you and you have to physically fight back or, you know, prevent a strong arm robbery or something. But the likelihood of like getting, you know, I don't know, do kids still get picked on? And I mean, obviously there's horrible violence that happens in our schools, but like, do 80's bullies still exist? Like, I mean, I don't know.
I don't think they do. I mean,
they're like, what's up, dweeb? You know,
I think it's like, it's online bullying now, right?
Yeah, everything's online. That's great.
Yeah.
Just keep the kids offline.
Yeah, don't let them go on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know, I have thought about, just because I think it is a good physical outlet for the kids, where I'm like, should I enroll them in like some like martial arts thing? And I know Maggie, you said she was doing karate for a long time, right?
And I'm going to, in the following year, I'm going to put Henry in it because I think he'll really enjoy it.
I just think they enjoy that a lot. And I guess there is like...
It's a physical outlet. It's teaching them control.
Yeah.
And also the karate stuff is like, speaking of the 80's, like when I started taking Maggie to this Taekwondo place or mixed martial arts, whatever it is, my mind was like, when we were kids doing karate, it was so you could beat somebody up or physically fight a bully, right?
Sure.
That was it.
Yeah.
So I was shocked when I went to the class and it's all these cute kids and the teachers were so great. They remember all the kids' names. And at the end of every class, they give an award of like, you get like extra bands on your belt, you know, and they're like, you did good at focus today. And they're like, the kid Maggie's like, I got my yellow stripe for focus. But all the training is for almost kind of yoga, like meditative, like it's for control. It's for controlling your emotions and releasing and learning respect and boundaries. It's very like, yes, sensei, yes, you know, bow. And like, and it's like, it's the like karate is like secondary. And I did see an enormous change in Maggie from the 6 months that she did it, of just like controlling her body more, being a lot more patient, being a lot more respectful. Sure, she has freakouts, but that's kind of why I want to put Henry in it, because he's got boundless energy, but also like he'll talk over you, he'll push Maggie down. He has all these, boys have this need for just like jumping through the wall like the fucking Kool-Aid man, you know?
They sure do. Yeah. They need like a physical outlet. And also like, I do like it for that sense too, where it teaches them like some physical control over their body. Cause they're just like, fucking, they have 2 left feet at first, right?
Yeah.
You have to teach them like, do you know what balance is? Like you just fucking falling over.
Henry
hitting
still
things,
does
like,
it at 4 years old. Like he will still run to like go into his room and slam into the wall.
Yeah.
He will. I was looking at the bruises on my
Get it
kids the
together,
other day.
man.
I was giving them a bath and I was like, it looks like you guys fell down a hill.
Sure.
And it's like still hot and they're wearing shorts. I'm like,
Their
should I
legs,
tell
right?
their legs? I'm like, should I tell their teachers like, hey, just so you know, I'm not physically abusing them because it looks like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are so bruised up. And some of these bruises, I mean, it looks like they got hit by a truck.
Yeah.
They're crazy and they don't even remember where they got them. And then they got mosquito bites and stuff and just scratches everywhere. And I'm like, did you fight a mountain lion? I can't believe it. But yeah, Henry will come home, fall off a chair, fall into a wall, all these things.
Yeah.
And I'll sit him down and I'll be like, hey, buddy, you got a lot of injuries. I need you to just take it down a notch. It's
Bring it
getting
down.
at bedtime.
Bring it
And he's
down.
like, okay. And then he'll run and like slam his head into a drawer right away. It's like a cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It is like, it's like slapstick, right? You're just like, dude, pull it together, man. Like, so I do think any sort of, I think like gymnastics, karate, jujitsu, like all these things like this, I think those are really great for kids. Especially maybe our kids are particularly uncoordinated. I don't know.
Mine are. I mean,
Right.
Henry is. Maggie's really getting into
I think
gymnastics.
just teaching them control of their body through some sort of like physical outlet. And also like there's so many great things like the discipline of it as well. Right. So
Yeah. Otherwise, I think they'll just bring a knife to school.
Yeah.
You know, that kid probably needed it. But remember, like, I would always fantasize about like being Steven Seagal. Like that's all I knew of karate was like watching Under Siege. And you're like, yeah, you throw a knife and it sticks into somebody's head. That's power right there. That's control.
Sure. Yeah. When you're a kid, you definitely like fantasize about like you see those weapons and stuff. You're just like, if I just had that, right?
Yeah.
That would even the playing field.
Well, there's a kid who I really like who lives down the street. Sweet boy. He's one of Maggie's friends. And he has a lot of like fake weapons, like semi-automatic plastic guns, all kinds of things. And he's real like lots of energy kid. And
Sure.
Maggie adores him and Henry especially does. But he came over the other day with like a Michael Myers knife, like a knife like this long. It's plastic.
Okay.
But it looked real.
Yeah.
And he came in, they kind of run back and forth from each other's houses. And he came in with that and they were playing with it. And it was, I haven't been stabbed, but I was like, hey man, no knives in the house. He's like, it's fake. I'm like, it looks really sharp.
Yeah.
But also you guys are knife playing with it. So I just had to talk to him, you know, briefly, and I'll talk to his parents to just like, love him coming over. I don't mind if my kids are over there playing around. We're not like the weapons people. I'm not anti-gun or anything. I just don't like it. I don't want my kids to be playing around like they're killing each other all the time.
I do not see like any
I mean, maybe that'll change.
advantage to having like
I played war and stuff, but we had
but-
like wooden sticks.
yeah, that's what I mean. That's
you
what I'm
know?
saying is like real looking fake weapons. Like you fucking play with squirt guns or play with like fake foam swords. Like I get it, wanting to play soldier and war and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I did that all the time too. But like you don't need weapons that look real.
Yeah, that's the thing is they look so real. It's like they have a couple squirt guns. They have the little foam swords and stuff. But this kid's got stuff that like, it looks like a weapon.
It's like replica.
It's like replica. I'm like, is this cast iron? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm okay. Do you, but it's not for me.
Yeah, no, I don't see an advantage because then obviously then it seems like a weird like fine line where it's like playing with like a real knife. It's like it looks exactly the same and like you're like, well, I don't want to set that precedence.
Well, it's also to go back to your original story of bringing the knives to school, which is like if that kid brings anything to, it's like how society is. He could bring one of those real looking ones at school, get in really big trouble, or depending on his race, get shot by the police accidentally.
I mean, that stuff happens every year.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like
happens all the
kid
time.
had a fake whatever. And I mean, I remember thinking a while back, we're trick-or-treating with our old neighbors, and there was a group of us, and a couple of them are teachers, and we were going around the old neighborhood, and it was like all our little kids, and there was a kid who was probably like 8 or 9, and he had, I don't even know what his costume was, but he had a pretty realistic looking fake gun, and he squeezed the trigger and it like lights up, and he pointed it at us when we walked by. I think he just turned and had the barrel towards this group. I didn't even notice it until our neighbor friend, who's a teacher, was like, "Hey, you never point that at anybody, even if it's pretend." And she just like chewed this kid out.
Dressed
and I was
him
like,
down.
Whoa. Yeah. And then he kind of was like, "Fuck you." And he did it again. And she was like, "Where's your parents?" And like kind of went nuts on him. And I was like, oh boy. But I was like, I'm not a teacher. I don't know what she dealt with. I think maybe she teaches at a rough school or something, but I don't know. It's not worth it to me.
Yeah. No real looking fake weapons for sure.
Yeah. But if you want to sponsor the show and you have a fake toy weapon,
if you make
company,
replica weapons for children,
if they look real, Tommy guns, Lugers, any era, really,
modern
1776, modern.
We will record a podcast from your factory.
We can do it at the factory in Bangladesh, Shanghai, whatever you need. We would not do it in Taiwan. Obviously, we don't support the existence of Taiwan.
Whoa! Excuse me.
Oh, if you're with the CCP, the Communist Party, we'll stand with you. I'm just throwing it out there.
You want to put us on the record with a stance on Taiwan?
It just means like it depends who's going to be throwing sponsorships.
I'm going to need to look into it. Okay.
Okay. Let's just pause there. But
I don't know much about Taiwan. Let's look into it.
We're open. Yeah. Let's give it a little time. Let's see.
All right. Let's take a break.
Well, you got to go back. The way it started was my dad died.
Oh, Jesus.
And I needed emotional support. And I realized because I didn't go to college like my wife, I don't have a male friend group.
Sure.
So I thought the easiest way to do that is to start a reading group, a book club.
Yes.
And my book was
The Power Broker by Robert Moses.
Robert Caro.
Robert Caro, yeah.
About Robert
Moses, yeah.
And it's a tome about the history.
Brick.
It's about the history of the New York Metropolitan Public Works arts parks system. Famously Conan O'Brien's favorite book. It's kind of like the nonfiction Infinite Jest.
Yeah, we did not finish this book.
We didn't even get close. Everybody in the group was like, "Fuck." Anyways, where did we go from there?
Where do we go from there? Well, I think
I was trying to think what I was talking about.
Well, we were talking about having a drink coming back from our break.
So the other day, I went to a pizza parlor.
Sure.
It's local.
Yeah, here in Long Beach.
Here in Long Beach, and this is a...
Do you want to name it in case we're looking for a sponsorship?
Little Coyote.
Little Coyote Pizza Parlor.
Now, this could get a little murky and get me in trouble, but we kind of know the owners, and there's been a lot of controversy because the owners came here during the pandemic, and a little bit like carpetbaggers. They came from Los Angeles and were kind of jaded, structured hat wearing hipsters. And they had some concept. They were going to, I think, build out a convenience store into like a kind of cool bodega, but that was having trouble. So they were like, oh, we have this other space. Let's put in a pizza place. And they happened to have this chef who had a really good dough. And it was perfect for the pandemic because at the beginning, everybody's like, what's going on? We can't go anywhere. Well, this new pizza place is open in Long Beach on 4th Street. And it was just hotcakes, baby. Everybody's talking about it.
Man, that place was
so good.
When it opened, it was really hot.
Like gangbusters.
Line all the way outside.
Line around the block.
Yeah.
Great branding. They had kind of a cool branding, and they kind of had COVID figured out before anybody else did of like the way you purchased in line. They had the squares, like all the crazy shit that became common. They had it quickly. So they did really well. It was exceptionally well run, I thought. And then eventually they kind of lost interest. They sold the business. They moved to Portugal. There's been a bit of a bad taste in the mouth of the community because they kind of feel like they took the money and ran.
They capitalized.
And people were like, well, we thought you guys were real Long Beach people. And they were kind of like, fuck you, bye. They sold it. And since then, realistically, the quality of the food has gotten a lot worse. But the biggest problem is it got bought by, I don't know, a couple of family, and they're kind of running it into the ground.
Yeah.
And they're so bad at, or even the simple, like you call in, place an order, they fuck it up. You pick it up, you take it home, you open it up, it's all fucked up. They give you the wrong thing. Every time you call, they're like, hold on, what'd you say? Huh? What? I'm trying to get this thing to work. And you go there and they're like, our button's not working. Just everything that could go wrong, comically so, every single time you go there.
It went from being like such an efficiently run operation and like also very hip, right? Like every time you'd go there, you're like, man, I am the most unhip person that is here. Like everybody working here has cool fucking tattoos and are wearing
teeny weeny beanies on their head.
Yeah, cool hats and like cool clothes, and it like all their merch is just like everything's like super cool. The food's great, and they're just kind of like get you in, get you out, and it's good price. And you're like, and once they sold like.
Well, and the people there kind of looked like they really enjoyed it, kind of like Trader Joe's. Like they were like, yeah,
everybody
that
worked there was cool, right? Even the like people behind the counter making the food, you're like,
well,
yeah. And I mean, I remember after they sold, like I went and I slowly started seeing like wasn't quite as cool, wasn't quite as hip. The people kind of looked like they worked at Vaughn's. Yeah.
By the way, Vaughn's, we are interested in sponsors.
Can you imagine doing like a live podcast from Vaughn's?
Dude, I'd fucking roast these people. They'd be like, give us all our money back. And I'd be like, you go to hell. Anyways, but you've noticed this too,
yeah,
right?
No, I remember like one like real indicator was I went one of these last times, and like it went from being like super hip to like there was like last time I went, there was like a handwritten sign on the door that it was like bathroom for customers only.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like, ooh, the bathroom for customers only, handwritten on the door. Like, that's not hip.
That's not hip.
That's not cool.
That's not cool, man.
You know?
And it's kind of got a like your parents' friends are running it now vibe, where they're constantly fluxumed by technology.
Sure.
Where like I'll call, and it can be a younger girl every time. They're like, they put it in like, hold on, it's not. Betty, do you know how to? And they're like, I gotta start over. And I'm like on the phone 15 minutes with them. Yeah. And I've had twice now where I've had to not return, but I've called and I've taken a picture and saved the receipt and been like, hey, last time I was here, you fucked up. You gave me the wrong pizza, this. And they're like, oh, sorry, I can't do anything about it. Manager's not here. I'm like, you need to give me that pizza for free. Yeah. This is how, and they're like, okay. But it's gotten so bad that, and the problem is it's my daughter Maggie's favorite pizza.
Here's the problem.
So she'll go.
They still have like their recipe from the last place, and it's even though it's gone way downhill, it's still pretty fucking good.
It's
pizza.
still pretty good. Yeah. It's like, do you want to go to Costco? No.
Yeah.
It is more of an expensive pie. You're looking about $30, but it's right there. It's close. It still has the brand stuff, but it's gotten so bad that I work near a Whole Foods. Now, Whole Foods has pretty good pizza.
Really?
It's not the greatest.
I don't think I've gotten pizza from Whole Foods.
Buckle up. It's quite good. Okay. And it's good enough that I can lie to my daughter, who can't fully read. And I bring the pizza home, and she goes, where's this from? Even though it says Whole Foods. She goes, is this Little Coyote? I say, it's their sister restaurant, Big Coyote.
You son of a bitch.
Real, right? So here's the thing. It's such a shithole now when you get there. It's completely inefficient. You walk in, there's a line out the door, not because they're so busy, but because they're so fucking dumb that they don't know how to like take orders and keep the line moving. So it's now a line of frustrated adult parents who are coming back from the ball game, and they're like, I just told my wife I'd pick it up. And I screwed up because this last time it was so bad they weren't answering the phone. So Jenna, my wife, had to order the pizza through DoorDash, which you can do for pickup. I did not know that. She's like, they're not answering the phone. I ordered it through DoorDash for you to go to pick up. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm so dumb because of the ADHD. She texted me. I was at the Y. She's like, yeah, I just ordered Little Coyote through DoorDash. I was like, oh, great. She's like, you pick it up. I was like, oh, ready in an hour. Sounds good. I completely forgot. I ran a bunch of errands. I got home. She goes, where's the pizza? There's 5 kids at our house. I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot. So I speed over there. Yeah. I get in line. It's a Friday night. There's a bunch of people waiting in line. Yep. The girl at the counter can't figure out how to open a bottle of wine for somebody, so I assist her.
Oh, my God.
Because it's my trade. But, you know, there's all these pizzas waiting in the little vent heater thing for pickup, and everybody's pulling their hair out. But I'm next in line to just say, hey, pick up for Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another dad behind me. He's waiting. There's another lady behind, another person behind him. Well, this fella comes in with a beanie on, even though he's 40. And he just walks past us. And he goes, hey, I'm just picking up for John or Dennis or whatever. And we're like, I'm kind of, huh? And the girl stops what she's doing, helping the lady in front of me. Oh, okay. What's the name? He's like, yeah, it's this. And she takes a couple minutes to help him. It's paid for. And he starts to walk out. Now the guy behind me goes, hey, buddy, are there 2 lines? And the guy goes, oh, no, there's not. You just jump. And he goes, what? He goes, you just jump. He goes, what do you mean you jump? He goes, you just jump the line. He goes, you mean you cut in front of people? He goes, hey, man, I've waited in this line for an hour, dude. If your food's ready, just go get it. And the guy goes, yeah, but you didn't just grab it. You had to have her help you and cut in front of us. He goes, whatever, dude. Sometimes you just got to jump, okay? Or you can just wait there like a sucker like I did till I figured it out. Yeah. Have a good night. And he walks away, and my jaw was on the floor.
You were indignant.
Indignant is a word I need to use more, John. You're right. And I looked at this dad. I go,
do you believe this guy?
I said, we used to be a country. Do we fight this guy? What do we do? He goes, that guy's an asshole. And I go, and even worse so because he said that we're suckers for waiting in line.
You see, not only are you guys upset that like he got his food quicker, but now you feel like a sucker.
We're a sucker for not breaking the rules. Yeah. But there's a part of me that identifies with it because I'm kind of like, this is a poorly run ship, right? It's so disorganized that eventually you got to just go, you guys are idiots. Just get the pizza.
Brandon, sometimes you got to jump.
Sometimes you got to jump, you know? I don't know. I was trying to wrap my brain.
That might be our first merch, right? That just says sometimes you got to jump.
I think Steve Harvey has that for his famous parachute viral clip. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh my God.
But
put
I
it in
imagine,
the show notes.
Yeah, the total punchline could be sometimes you got to jump. It sounds like a punchline.
Well, Steve Harvey has this famous video from at least 10 years ago, but it's filmed very cool. But somebody just happened to take a very cool HD video of him in like a parking garage in Chicago where the Steve Harvey show is filmed. And he's been through a lot as an entertainer. Like he really started from the bottom. So he tells this Steve Harvey story and he's like, man, when you feel ready, and he's got his like bald head and his giant mustache. He's like,
we're all familiar with the Steve Harvey look. You're ready for
fame. You got to do this. It's like you're talking about it. He's like, you got to jump. You got to jump off that cliff. And he's like, now here's the thing. You think when you jump, your parachute's going to open, but it ain't going to open right away. You're going to fall down. You're going to hit the rocks. You're going to get scraped up, but that parachute's going to open up. You just got to jump.
All right.
Steve Harvey show. We're looking for sponsors.
Yeah. Is the Steve Harvey show still on?
Well, I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the line I said before? I got to do some research on that. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, you're going to look into it.
It's going to be my recommendations as a Steve Harvey show.
I mean, I wasn't expecting you to do a Steve Harvey impression. You really went out on a limb with that one.
I don't. What? Family Feud. Yeah. She said titties.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a funny story about Little Coyote.
I don't know what it's a moralistic question though, because I do think there's a part of it. And sorry, before you wrap up, instinctually, that Russian proverb that we've all heard of, like, you don't have to, if you're camping, you don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun your friend.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what the guy was saying to me.
You have to outrun the slowest person.
Yeah. And that when I think of the apocalypse and, all the existential fear I have of like, is it all ending? Are we going to a civil war? Our resources, there's like, will I be like, you think of some of the horrible things that are happening around the world with, starvation and genocide and everything. Like, would I be like in the line for the food aid and being like, hey, you got to wait in line, and meanwhile, the grandmothers are like, please. And they're all standing on top of each other. I'm like, there's, we need some order to this genocide, everybody. And that guy's like, you jump. Sometimes you got to jump.
You just got to take care of your own, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
He was like, this guy's being a real Karen or something, right? I don't know. What's the male version of a Karen?
Kyle. I think it's a Kyle.
So were you being a Kyle?
Or Steve. Maybe I was, but he was kind of, it really flashed me back to being like 14, and just somebody being like, hey, dude, why don't you quit being a fucking loser, dude? That this guy was like, had that attitude with me and this other dad that was like, hey, I'm just kind of a chill bro and you guys are fucking dorks.
Two doofuses over here. Yeah, I mean...
Like, you don't pay for the Metallica show, dude. You just fucking jump the fence.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
And
You're
I'm like, hey, but these rules.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, you could have done the same thing I did. I mean, I don't know if there is a moral to the story here. I was trying to think, like, synthesize what is the moral here.
I don't have the answer. It's just a question.
I don't think the moral is to start just cutting in line all the time, right? Like, I think it sucks that guy did that, but it's also kind of like, fucking pick your battles. Like, who cares? You're picking up pizza. It's took 2 minutes extra out of your life. Like, who gives a shit?
Well, and I rarely go there, and maybe he's like been there enough that he's like, every Friday and Wednesday I have to do this. And there was a breaking point for him where he's like, I just grab it.
Sure.
You just grab it because otherwise you're going to stand there. It's like when you're at a convenience store and you're like, I just got to pay for this thing. And then the person in front, he's like, actually, let me get 2 more of those lotto tickets. Mm-hmm. You got to think, and they start, and you're like, fuck, and you're late, and it's just, and he's like, I'm not doing this anymore. You know, you do a thing, you do anything enough, any job, any place you go to, you kind of be like, you know what, all they actually have to do.
Yeah, I think it's up to you as like the consumer, where it's like, if that's how they're going to run their operation, then it's like, you can either choose to go there or not, right? Like, if that annoys you enough where they allow people to cut the line and they don't give a shit about it, because you go to some places that are well run and somebody tries to do that shit, they'll be like, sir, there's one line, get back in line. Yeah. Right. But they're not doing that there. Right. Yeah. So you can decide as like a customer if you want to frequent that place or not, if that's the kind of things they allow to happen. Like, does that bother you that much, or you just fucking live and let live? Because otherwise you're going to end up throwing down with some random bro in Long Beach.
Yeah, talk about a low stakes.
Yeah, because he's jumping the line at Little Coyote.
Yeah, everybody has a gun too. So it's like my wife is going to have to explain, like, yeah, your dad died. Yeah. He was shot in the stomach and bled out right by the dance school at the little pizza place because he wanted to fight a guy who got his breadsticks without waiting in line.
You know those people that took down the plane so it wouldn't, hit the Pentagon
United
or whatever,
93.
9/11? Like, you're basically the same. You're like, listen, we have to stand for something here. Yeah. And I am not going to let this happen.
If we do this, the terrorists win.
Sure.
We got
to stand somewhere, Brendan.
I used to smoke, and then from smoking I went to vaping, and now I chew Nicorette. But to quit the vaping, I got this kind of Buddhist prayer whistle thing. I don't have it on me, but it's like a necklace that at the end it just kind of looks like a whistle, and you use it to calm your breathing.
Jared Leto wearing one.
Oh no! Speaking of structured hats, we were talking about structured hats earlier. I got to throw it out. But whenever I can kind of feel the grief coming on, because after my dad died, I started to have these panic attacks. So I'd start using it to deep breathe. But my kids like to grab it from me.
Sure.
So Henry took it off me. He goes, "Look, I'm dad," and he started to use it. And I go, "Oh, that's your impression of me," because Maggie's been doing an impression of Henry that is quite funny. She'll go, "Hey, Dad, do you want to see my impression of Henry?" And I'll go, "Okay." And she goes, "Hey, Dad, can you open this?" It's just like, she's been doing these bits as him, and they're always him like helpless, because he often is, where she'll be like, "Dad, hey, Dad, could you get me my water?" And so Henry's kind of knowing what an impression is. So I laughed at him doing the little prayer whistle thing. And then in front of my wife, he goes, "Mom, do you want to see my impression of Dad?" And I think that he's going to do the whistle thing again. And she goes, "Okay." And he turns around and he bangs his ankle and he goes, "Shit, God damn it."
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my God, that's his impression of me. Yeah. And truly half the time, anytime I bang or I pinch them, they go, "Fuck, God damn it." Sure. And it's like, they're listening.
So getting hurt and then cursing.
And then saying, "God damn it," like an old grandpa.
Sure. This is the impression.
This is the impression. On your children. Shit, goddamn it.
Shit, goddamn it. All right. On that note, let's do some recommendations here. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You.
Okay. My recommendation this time is not a book. It's not a podcast. It is
a poem.
I'm not. It's a poem. I'm going to recite you a poem right now. No. So I just took the kiddos to the dentist a couple days ago, and I'm not sure what your regiment is around the dentist, but
we don't believe in them.
Oh, okay, got it. You're a Christian Scientist. Growing up, we had like a horrible dentist, and our dentist was like over an hour away from where we lived. And we had all these teeth problems growing up in my family, like everybody in the family. Like my family did not have good dental hygiene, I don't think. Right. So when we had kids, Catherine and I made like a real point of it that I'm like, that I am not repeating these errors of like the past. Like we are going to do this differently. Right. So we actually have a great dentist who I actually got recommended from your wife. I go to the same, your wife and I go to the same dentist.
What's his name?
I'm not going to say it on
Well, we could be a sponsor.
Oh, no, it's okay. I don't want to over him. They've already got too much business. So it's a great dentist. So I found this dentist before the kids. And then once we had the kids, I'm like, we are going to be all about this. So I got the kids like
dentist t-shirts,
a book about going to the dentist when they were really young. And it explains like what the dentist is. And also the dentist is really close to us. So it's not some big lift to go, right? It's not an hour away like it was for me.
Yeah.
But
you live rural? You couldn't get a dentist?
Where my family
in rural Texas?
I have no idea why their dentist was over an hour away when I was growing up. It was so stupid. It was
was it a real dentist?
I don't fucking know.
Apparently no, it was just a guy in a house.
Yeah, and I don't
like how the hairdresser. You remember growing up? Did you ever have like a relative that was a hairdresser and they'd have like a barbershop seat in their basement and they'd cut your hair there? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a real trash
You think that's what it was?
Yeah, he just has a dental chair in his basement.
My aunt actually, who you know,
owned like, why does your floor have a drain?
Yeah.
That's weird.
No, it was like a real dentist. It really was, but it was just like, anyway, it was not a good experience growing up. We all had horrible teeth growing up. I have good teeth now, but it's taken
Why do you think you have
thousands of dollars?
Yeah, but this happened to me, and I know we haven't even got your recommendation, so maybe we need to do it separately. But I had horrible teeth. My parents did not believe in fluoridation of the teeth. They thought it was some kind of communist propaganda, the same as they didn't let us get vaccinations. So according to my dentist, he thinks that's why my teeth are so bad. Is in my formative years, even though we would occasionally go to the dentist, they would never let us get fluoride. And my sister and I both had really bad teeth, and we did not get fluoride. Sure. And I probably spent 50 to 75 grand in the last 20 years just getting all my teeth fixed.
Sure.
But what's your excuse? You got soft teeth?
Yeah.
That's like a thing. I got bad feet. I got soft teeth.
No, I honestly don't know. I don't have a great memory around it. I do know that we did go to the dentist. I bet if I had to speculate, I would say we probably didn't go regularly enough because it was such a drive to go. My parents were not like anti-fluoride or anything like that, right? But I think it was probably just such a big lift. We probably didn't go like every 6 months like you're supposed to.
Did your parents have insurance?
Yeah.
But they should, huh?
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was like, we got to go way out there because he only charges $5 to look at you.
No, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. I mean,
we got to have your parents on.
It's another podcast, right?
I'm going to have your parents on, and I just want to grill them both. What went wrong with your marriage?
Please do. They'll get 2 words in before you interrupt
Who drank
them.
more? Just have them start fighting. What do you hate the most about them?
You'll ask a question. As soon as they start to answer, you'll jump in two words in. You'll never let them speak.
Yeah, right. By the end of it, though, they're going to walk out of the studio. They go, we're getting married again.
This fucking guy. He really talked us into it. No, so anyway, not great experiences growing up for me with the dentist. However, like I said, I wanted to change that with our kids. So what I do, it seems like totally... this is my... Believe it or not, this is my recommendation, which is like... Make the dentist a fun experience for your kids because it is a huge like weight off your shoulder if you don't have to make it like a bad experience for them and they want to go. So what we do every time we go to the dentist is we go get donuts afterwards, right? We go to the dentist, we do the whole thing, and they're so stoked to get donuts when you leave. So they're like, are we going to the dentist today? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yes. They're stoked because like they know we're going to go get donuts at the end. So I'm like, you don't have to get donuts, but I strongly think like put something fun around it with the kids, because I did not have that. I did not want to go to the dentist. It was a giant pain in the ass. I had horrible teeth growing up. I make it fun, and my kids have like excellent fucking like dental hygiene. Whenever we go to the dentist, they're like, man, their teeth are great. No cavities. Everything looks good.
Listen to yourself. You're here fucking bragging about your kids' teeth.
Yeah, I am.
Good God.
I'm actually
Why don't
bragging
you just go to a fun dentist? My kids go to a fun dentist.
Does your
they
dentist
make it fun.
dress like a clown?
Here's the thing. No, that's fucking scary. I go to this dentist. His name's Dr. Donut. And he gives them a box of donuts at the end.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, it's called Dr. Dentist Donut. And he's super fun.
No, you're lying.
And he lets you smoke in the office.
Every dentist gives like the little treasure chest at the end. These kids don't fucking need another little piece of plastic. That weighs nothing on them.
My kids love that.
My kids
Listen
love
to you.
it for
You
10
probably talk
seconds.
to your kids there. You're like, you don't need this shit. You don't need this crap plastic
No, they take the plastic.
destroying the environment. Let's go get something meaningful. Let's get a donut.
Let's get a donut to ruin those
and
teeth.
then you turn to the dentist and you go, listen, I trust you. It's all about trust.
Yeah.
I trust that you're going to clean their teeth. Just like I trust my school principal to
If
do
they
the
get
right
assaulted
thing
while they're here.
when they get assaulted. You know, okay, look, what a great recommendation.
Listen, asshole.
My kids have terrible teeth. They're falling out already. Oh, those are their baby teeth.
No, I mean, you can shit on it all you want. I highly recommend making going to the dentist like a fun experience for the kids, so you don't have to have a huge lift around it. It really does help quite a bit.
What do you do for, I guess I do that for when I take Henry to get his hair cut.
Sure.
Speaking of cheap plastic, afterwards I go next door to this semi-dollar store called Five Below.
Yeah.
It's like everything's $5 or less, which is not true because they do have some expensive marble runs that are like $20.
Yeah.
But I let him pick out a piece of junk over there, which by the way, I didn't even know what Five Below was until like a year ago. I drive by it, you know, wherever they'd be on the freeway to the desert. And I assumed that it was like a winter sports store. Mm-hmm. It was like 5 Below Zero. And I was like, why do they got this fucking snowboarding place out in the middle of nowhere?
I don't think Five Below got that popular until like, at least here in Southern California, until like a year or two ago.
Okay.
It just wasn't
well,
really
I'm not
a thing.
an idiot then.
No, you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. That's my recommendation. What's yours?
Okay. I got a recommendation.
Okay,
you
let's-
fuckheads. Here's the thing. You want a low lift? I like to do a little cooking, as you know. This is an original idea, but I've been doing it a lot lately. Sometimes I go grocery shopping and I'm in charge of the meal planning and stuff like that. And sometimes it gets away from me because you're like, oh, I'm going to make a sweet potato chicken cornbread pot pie tomorrow. But like, oh, fuck, I got to take the kids to this gymnastics and it ran late. I guess we'll just run and get Little Coyote. Don't do it unless you want to jump. So sometimes the vegetables, you know, you look in the fridge, you're like, fuck this cauliflower. I was going to do trout almondine with a roasted cauliflower. And now it's like getting the little sprouts. What do? This is the third time this has happened. The kids got real sick a few weeks back. So I had a lot of vinegar on hand. So I thought I'm going to start pickling. So I spent a day. Henry was home a little sick from school. He's fine. But it was just he's sitting on the couch and my plans were kind of fucked for the day. And I could only do so much creative. So I was like, I'll put it in a podcast. I pickled a dozen eggs. I pickled all the garlic on the counter. I pickled a bag of carrots that I julienned. I pickled rainbow cauliflower. I pickled the jalapeno peppers that were sitting on the counter. I pickled and I pickled and I pickled.
Sure.
And I give some of the pickles away. I give them as gifts. I got some jars. I got a couple pickled eggs in there with some pickled garlic and some jalapenos, some pickled peppers, some...
Your recommendation
onion.
is to pickle things.
Here's the thing, though, with pickling. It lasts up to 3 months in the refrigerator. And I like sometimes rich, fatty foods. Like I'll do a pork belly.
Sure.
And with the pickled vegetables, they're not only great on a charcuterie because they taste good. You got the sweetness and the sour. You can, of course, add cardamom or, peppercorns, things like that to it. But it just looks great on a charcuterie. You're like, oh, I got some cured meats, I got some cheeses. And then people are like, what are these? Is this They kind of figure it out. You did this? Oh, chomp, chomp, this is good. Mm-hmm. So they're a good snack. You got to put some nuts around them. But they're also a great garnish on a salad. Mm-hmm. They add, you got some tang, you got some acid, you got some crunch, you got some textural differences, and they add color, especially if you get rainbow cauliflower or you do those things, or especially you do heirloom carrots. But they're also good on a side, like if you're doing pork belly, and say you do like a creamy polenta with it or something like that, then you get this richness, but you get this acid on top. Pickling takes next to no time. There's tons of recipes you can look up. Literally, it's pretty much like half water, half vinegar, and then say 2 tablespoons of sugar and 2 teaspoons of salt. It's pretty easy to remember depending on if you do 8 times, whatever. Of course, it's going to smell a little bit in your kitchen. Light a candle, air it out when you're done. But then you got jars of pickles that you can give as gifts. And you also have jars of pickled different things. You can even pickle strawberries if you want. Different fruits you can do. You can pickle almost anything. And I know that was been a Portlandia sketch.
Yeah, we can pickle that.
We can pickle that. But I've been having them on my salad. I've given some away. I brought some to work. It's just a nice thing. It feels like some ancient shit, some homestead and shit. And people are impressed by it. And I'm like, it's not that impressive. It's quite easy to do. You just put some shit in a jar and you peel it or whatever, slice it up, and then you just pour this shit on top and close the lid.
Sure.
And you got something for, 6 months if you need it.
I mean, part of me wants to shit on your recommendation here. But
well, I haven't consumed anything this week. There's nothing.
No.
Beyond the show The Pit, which is quite good. We started that show. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, you're not going to believe this recommendation. The show that won all the Emmys. You should really check it out. It is pretty good. Well, it's like I'm a creative person. I write. I do these things, but sometimes I'm strapped down with these fucking kids and they ruin the day that you had planned. Oh my God, I got all this writing. I got a meeting. I'm gonna send this script. I'm gonna work on a promo video for this thing. And then instead I've got, can you get me my water? I didn't want these crackers. The show's not working. And you're like, a fucking girl. But I don't want to just be a slave to it. So I'm like, I got to do something creative. And if I can be in the kitchen doing something of value,
sure,
I feel like at least I accomplished something. Yes, I'll put a picture of the pickled items in the show notes, but it is an outlet for me. It is a stress relief. I'm sure with my ADHD too, I can hyper focus and like go into this hyper focus wormhole in the kitchen that feels creative and also lets off creative steam and rage. But also just like, I feel like I'm doing something when I'm not able to do anything because of the slavery of parenthood.
And the outcome of that work in the kitchen is like your friends and family really enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
When
you're going to
over
come
your
over
house,
the next time you have a thing, I'll probably be bringing these over.
Yeah.
And
when
like,
you come over and I come over and you make lunch or, you have us over for dinner or something, I'm like, this is fucking delicious. It's great.
Yeah. Pickle it.
I think the end of the podcast each week should be you giving like cooking recipes and recommendations in the kitchen.
I can, you know what? Maybe let's do that because I don't know how you have time to consume the amount of things you do.
I'm not pickling things.
To do the amount of physical activities that you do. Every time I talk to you, you're like, well, my night walks. Well, my bike rides. Well, my wall work. I'm ripping out the front of the house.
Sure.
That I'm like, well, I can tell you something cool I made in the kitchen.
I think that's great.
All right, that'll be the new thing.
I will continue not recommending cooking or pickling recipes. I will continue recommending donut shops and Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And night walks.
Love it.
All right. I think we're good.
Love you guys. Thanks. Listen, They're Fine is produced and edited by Wyatt Gray. Original music by John Ahern. John's Instagram is @JohnAhernMusic. And you can find my inappropriate parenting on Instagram @Bubba Ogborn. You can also find our recommendations linked in the show notes. If you have feedback or topic suggestions, our show email is listenthey'refine@gmail.com. And our TikTok and Instagram handles are @ListenThey'rFine.
If you made it this far without calling Child Protective Services on us, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps other questionable parents find us. Share the chaos, tell a friend, tell your therapist, tell anyone who needs to feel better about their own parenting choices. Hit subscribe so you never miss an episode.